Good morning, everybody. Um, About to start our European session recap for October 25th, 2013. Pardon my cough. I'm going to try to hit the mute button. I am still under the weather from last week, and a nasty case of the cold. So, all right, let's begin with the S&P 500. Stepping out to a 4-hour chart. Coming or late this year, early fall, we traded a 1640 support level that has technical upside targets at the 1767s. We've already hit the upside targets from our 4-hour pullback from this summer, which was at 1630. We need to be drawing up next in the series from that move from 1624 to highs, which would put support down at about a 1690 level. Okay, inside this, we're holding an hourly or 15-minute extension from a 1717 quarter anchor to highs. We traded support 1713 on Wednesday last week, or sorry, not Wednesday last week, Wednesday this week, 2 days ago. And inside this level, going down to a 15-minute chart, we really haven't held anything in particular. There is today holding a Globex long, which is just the lows to highs of the day, but we do have a gap fill at a 1746.75, which is yet to fill. We did trade a 3-tick front run of that at the 47.50s, but would not be too surprised to see the gap fill and potentially even trade a full halfway back for the week, really, from a 1734 half to 1753.77s inside of this extension to take us up and into those 1676 targets. Upside targets for this hourly extension from the 1736s are at 1763. So we'll be watching for that in the coming sessions, but definitely still bullish. No reason to be a seller. It is certainly becoming a little less technical on the smaller time frames, but we do technically still have larger time frame upside targets. I'd like to move on to the dollar yen. Stepping out to a 4-hour chart, we are still anticipating and looking for the completion of this consolidation pattern. We are continuing to make inside levels here. Each swing high and low has continued to compress our range, and we have now bouncing off the 97 level. If we have a break in the 97.60s, we're seeing what we consider to be equal legs down and what could be the start of a rally higher. In other words, this leg was equal to this leg right into this trendline support. We have 5 waves up, 3 waves back. This could be the start from an Elliott wave perspective of a move out of this triangle. It's certainly the low end of our range. Risk is contained against the 90, the 96.65 or 96.60 low here. So if you are a buyer, that's where you'd want your stops. My only hesitation is this swing high to low here, the 50% line. We did get a reaction, and that has downside targets of the 95.60s. So if we do continue lower, we'd be continuing potentially lower out of this range into at least a 94, but ultimately we could trade all the way down, stepping out to a daily chart now, all the way down into a full halfway back long if we do start to break down at the 89.67 level. We are still watching and considering this to be an extension long that traded at the 94s with upside targets of the 108.30s. But like I said, if we do start to break down, and we really do, we're looking for support around the 90 figure. Okay. In the short term, we're looking for a break at the 97.60s where after which an ambush long could potentially be purchased. This is an extension short, traded once to target yesterday, same anchor new low from the 98 lows here from Tuesday. Euro yen. Stepping out, again, we've been really only tracking the euro yen on the 4-hour time frame because every 4-hour level seems to be getting its reactions. We traded upside. Excuse me. Ooh. We traded off the 125 lows to an anchor at the 32.75s. Held the 50 back, defended 6-to-8 line, traded to its target. Next the series, drawn from entry lows to target highs, traded at the 131.50s. We have upside targets now that align with larger time frame upside targets. Well, not perfectly, but definitely up to the 137 figure here, as our larger daily long drawn from the 118.81 lows to the highs after at the 133.98s has held, and we have 137, 46 targets from that trade. There is the potential for a move down into the 133.30 area, where we would anticipate support, and again would take us up and into the 136.50s and the 137.50 targets. The Aussie yen, stepping out to a 4-hour chart here. The Aussie yen has run into a 20 pip front run of its 95.90 full short. I'm not ready to be a seller of it just yet. We have a next in the series long here. Whoops, one moment. There we go. Halfway back long here at the 93.20s that has gotten a reaction so far. And going down to a 50-minute time frame, we have a micro this morning that is getting a bid. And we are tracking. Can I grab this? There we go. We'll see what happens from here, but we did break, the Globex short, pulling into a little micro ambush long. We are still inside of, for whatever reason, the 94.34 anchor to low was front run, and you could make a case that its target was front run as well. So there was no real great short. Everything was front run by a lot. So kind of just straight down into this 93.20 support level, and seeing as we can make a case for support in most of our yen crosses, this could be the area that we get a turn. If not, if we do continue lower, there's better support levels below us, but overall we don't, we're not looking to be net sellers. There might be some nice intraday scalps in the yen crosses, but ultimately with the moves in the equity markets, it's going to be really hard to be sellers in those crosses until you get a turn in things like the S&P. Gold. Gold is one of our more interesting trends right now. We have a 128 or 12.89 anchor to high extension that traded. Same anchor new highs, has not traded yet. It is support down at the 13.20s. We have rallied into a full halfway back short though from our 14.34s, which are actually, we talked about this before, but it's actually halfway back short for the year. Drawn from our highs of the year at the 16.98 half to lows. Okay, we broke the long off of lows and have run into the 1642 resistance, 1642 to 1342 to 1360 resistance. So if there is going to be a turn in gold, this is where it'll likely be. The only other resistance level we see above us is the full halfway back ambush short drawn from all-time highs in gold at 1923 anchor to our 2013 lows, and those are at the 1551. Okay, so again, just really big levels in gold, really hard to take for smaller accounts unless you have to just take really small size. We kind of advise, if you do trade gold, to trade it in with a less than average size. Anyway, so definitely no shorts in control yet here off of our high, but no new extensions either. You could make a case for this original high to high, but we already had an extension that traded from that level. So I am basically just looking for a turn somewhere around here in gold, at least down to the 1320s. The euro US dollar stepping out to 4-hour time frame. Actually, we're going to step out to a daily to start, because we are coming up on the 6-to-1-8 line of a major level here. 6-to-1-8 line of this swing short drawn from the 149.40s to the 120 lows. A 6-to-1-8 line would represent a break in shorts, and after this break, we very well could get a full pullback in the euro. That would be a move all the way down to the 129s. Not saying that that's going to happen, because there's lots of support between there and here, but I do want to point that out. We still have technical upside targets at the 141 figure of our daily long, and then inside of this level, remove some of these smaller time frames. Inside of this level, if everyone remembers the 131 long we took in the euro, we've hit upside targets, and we've blown through upside targets. In other words, after hitting upside targets, we never pulled back into the full next to the series long, which means we now need to take from our highs of that prior long at the 134.52s to new highs. We have extension support level. This trade's over, we can take it off. We have extension support level. I would call this an hourly or 4-hour extension support at the 136.43s, and I'm definitely looking to be a buyer down there. Going down to smaller time frames here in a 15-minute time frame, we actually have, here we go, drawn from these previous highs at 137.05 anchor to highs. Extension long has traded to its target, same anchor, new high, actually traded again after targets were filled at the 137.60s. So we technically do have an upside target now for the euro of a 138.52, or I'm sorry, 138.35. We're holding micro long inside and a short, swing short, not swing, excuse me. And a micro short off the high. So we'll see which one of these little micros wins out. But we have traded the 137.60 support and have a 138.50 upside target in the meantime. Okay, which would break this 6-to-1-8 line of that much larger short, which is exactly what we I guess have been looking for, but ultimately still have upside targets of the 141s. I'm really interested in being a buyer at the 36.40s, stop below 136, and upside targets of this trade, I'll highlight it so you can see it, would be the 139.20s. Okay, so we'll see what happens over the next few sessions, but a move down into the 136.40 support is where I want to be a buyer. The Aussie US dollar. Aussie, the Aussie US dollar has let shorts take over off of highs, and what we're seeing is actually a full micro short traded to its target, and then next in the series traded yesterday is also a Globex short, and we have downside targets of the 95.50s. I'm basically, in my opinion, we're basically looking now for the full halfway back at the 93s on the Aussie US dollar, which would mean, you know, this kind of decline in the Aussie US dollar, coupled with that decline in the euro down to its 36.40 support, which is, you know, only about 200 pips for the Aussie US dollar and 100 pips for the euro, just over, is going to boast the euro Aussie, which we're going to look at now. So definitely seeing micro shorts in control in the Aussie US dollar off of highs. We could continue monitoring that trend off of highs and looking for that full pullback. The euro Aussie, which we are bullish on, has traded its daily extension long at the 141 tens, depending on how it's drawn, 141.10 to 141.20. Okay, it's gotten a reaction, and inside this level, going down to a 15-minute chart now, coming up off of lows, we held a Globex long yesterday at the 143.40s. We have potential for a full halfway back at the 142.70s, but this is precisely the euro strength Aussie weakness that that supports the idea of the euro coming. The euro and the Aussie both falling down to a support level, but the Aussie falling 200 pips when the euro only falls 100. We'll see if that plays out. It's not a make or break for us, but we have traded our daily support level, and we are tracking the current series of longs, which is highlighted purple, and the potential ambush long on the Aussie US dollar. Going out to a 4-hour chart, we say ambush because there was a swing high here that just broke 6218 line, and you know, anytime you break a 6218 line, you could, you know, you have the makings for a pullback into you know, an ambush in the opposite direction, and that's what we're looking for now. So lots of really big levels trading. I mean, the short squeeze on the euro Aussie could just continue, but definitely the makings for a lot of good big swing levels, and a lot of good trading here going into November. All right, so with that being said, everybody have a great day. I'm closing the room early today because I'm going to go take a nap as I need to recover and just get myself well. Starting November 1st, all subscribers will be receiving login information provided from Elliott Wave Forecast to check out the perks and the freebies you have obtained from them for being a subscriber through this kind of pseudo merger. Like I've said before, everybody will be receiving, subscribers will be receiving you know, comparable price point content from Elliott Wave Forecast, you know, in addition to your, you know, what you receive already at Algo Day Trader for no additional fees or cost to you. So we're really excited about this. Some of the only changes you're going to see to Algo services are for current subscribers, you're really going to see none. You're just getting that additional content from Elliott Wave Forecast. So eventually everything will move, you know, to the Elliott Wave Forecast site and login, but that's not for a little while. We need to you know, finalize how that switch is going to occur. So have a great day, everybody, and we'll be back with you as price action develops.